So I'm hanging here with Kevin. He's showing me some of his cards that he's thinking about. These are the ones he's thinking about grading.
Man, it's game over, man. It's game over. What the fuck are we gonna do now? What are we gonna do?
Maybe we could build a fire, sing a couple of songs, huh? Why don't we try that?
LED, nice,
Yeah, a lot of these
workshop.
I pulled myself.
Really?
Yep, and so
Ooh,
some were recent, and then some were back when I first touched Magic. Back then, I was just a collector. You know, I collected my fair share of Pokemon. I got thrown out by my parents at some point. My Yu-Gi-Oh! I played that somewhat, but I was never competitive, like played these competitive. It was just like backyard games type of deal. And Magic especially, it was something that I saw other people play, and that I thought the cards looked cool, and it's always been a collection piece. So I was able to find a lot of my cards after my parents retired and moved post-pandemic, and that got me interested in...
I think Thought Lash is underestimated, by the way.
Yeah, yeah. And once I found these cards, it motivated me to get back into it. That's why a lot of these purchases that I've done with Magic has been relatively recent. Like, I've seen the prices rise up when I was interested in it again. I'm like, I can't buy it at those prices. But then in the last couple of months,
This dip,
I started making my moves, and like it felt better to open some of these packs. So it's a mix of stuff that were pretty well preserved, because since I didn't really play, the cards weren't in that bad of shape when they were rediscovered.
See, this is one thing I've been saying too about attrition when it comes to rarity. I feel like commons and uncommons have such a higher attrition rate because no one ever cared about them, you know, no one protected them. So to find like an uncommon foil that's like a 9.5 is tough, because who was saving their uncommons, you know, like when it wasn't that good. It's kind of crazy. I just think it's higher than anyone expects at this point. These are all some really nice cards, man.
Very clean.
Yeah.
And I had held off on grading these because I was initially hesitant about grading. I didn't like the idea of paying more than the cost of the.
Okay, so it's Ed with Dual Brain MTG. My camera's a little wobbly here. I'm trying to steady it. We're hanging out with Kevin in Philadelphia, and we're actually talking about these new card games. And a subject just came up that I feel like it needs to be discussed a little bit, and that's NFTs and these card games. So one thing that happened recently that I've been paying attention to is the MetaZoo NFT. How you get early access to certain things, you can buy exclusive boxes. They just have a little stamp that makes them special for the NFT holders, but still, it's actually something in the real world, a real world value for an NFT. And I think that's going to be the key going forward into the future with NFTs and the NFT market, is like not so much the NFT itself, but the access that it grants you, almost like a passport or a ticket to, I don't know, surprise me, make something interesting, you know, and that's the point. It doesn't have to be, you know, very specific. It can be a nebulous idea, but as long as it has that real world implication, I think those are the type of NFTs that will survive.
Originally, when the NFT hype was going on, a lot of people were just trying to get on it to make
that Bitcoin money. Basically, they saw that happen. They're like, "Hey, this is blockchain."
Yeah, and when I started seeing that, getting involved in TCGs, I was just like, "This is not. This is just
that type of greed. Can really mess with things."
Yeah, the perception. First of all, I don't know if you guys heard of Grand Archive, but they're a Kickstarter that I didn't back when they started, because I found out about them too late, but they had NFTs as part of their project initially, and had I known about it, I would never have backed it. It just feels disingenuous to...
Yeah, it feels a little scamish, you know? What, you're gonna sell me this digital and it's got value. A couple of, a JPEG. And some crap like that, a GIF or GIF. However you want to say it.
And they eventually backed out of the idea. So Now I feel better about being involved. I just pre-ordered some boxes. They're basically an anime TCG, and there's not really good TCGs on the anime front. So
you have one, what, Weiss Schwartz.
Yeah.
Rudy always pushes it.
And they like rip off the show, so it's basically like a screenshot of the show. But in this case, they commission artists for like unique art, and I just thought it didn't really make a lot of sense because artists, they don't really like the NFT concept. So why are you mixing the two together? It just made no financial sense. And I know a lot of people, they didn't back it as a result.
It's more of a buzz thing, you know, and that buzz has faded. If you look at the NFT market, it dropped like 90% in the past couple of months, like legit 90%. What type of real market drops something like that? I don't know. I just think that the previous applications of how they were doing it, ooh, a limited edition stupid gift that means nothing, that does nothing. It's just some dumb image.
It was not even a problem. It was solving a problem that didn't exist. They were trying to create a problem and justifying the whole NFT.
I agree.
Nobody was asking for anything like this before, and then they just decided to throw in this blueprint. And I guess because it ties into crypto or blockchain, you got like crypto bros pumping this
Look,
thing.
I feel like, don't get me wrong, I feel like there can be a niche use here and there, but the widespread silliness that we've seen, I think that needs to go away. It wasn't healthy for anybody. It's very scamish. A lot of people lost their freaking, you know, the shirt off their back dealing with these freaking things. It just doesn't seem worth it to me to have something so intangible. You know, cardboard, freaking magic cards was bad enough. I don't need to buy something that I can't even touch or see. Like, get out of here. I can't deal with that. You know what I mean? Like,
at the very least, if all my cardboard goes to zero, I still like the
great
cards
art,
that I
man.
hold. Yeah,
It's awesome art.
I don't feel bad about anything that I buy. Like when I purchase MTG stuff, I buy stuff that I don't regret if it goes to zero.
Exactly.
I'm not buying out copies as well. I'm buying what I want to complete sets and whatnot. I don't know why would I buy an NFT? Like I just don't.
You know, I come off as like just a collector investor, but I'm more of a collector than anything because I love this stuff, you know. And so, like, do you really care about some random ape smoking weed on an NFT? Like, come on, people were paying $50,000 or more for them silly things, you know.
A lot of my friends were like 30s, 40s in the hobby. We were no one could understand like what the heck was going on
and what the purpose was. Where did all this freaking money come from?
Maybe I'm just missing something. Like maybe this is like, and then I started looking into it a little bit more. I was like, oh no, this
I was right. It's just people are taking a longer time to realize it. That's what it is. I was right. Yes.
Eventually, the market figures out. It's just complete nonsense.
I think we truly actually haven't seen the killer app for it yet. I just think NFTs are not used correctly, and you're gonna get burned if you're not having the killer app. You know, it's just it's not crypto, which can be used to exchange for goods, and this, you know, it's a completely different world. It's just because it shares the same technology doesn't mean it's, you know, anything like it. It's ridiculous. All right, so this has been our NFT discussion. I don't know if we've ever had an NFT discussion around these parts. That's crazy. I guess it's about time with MetaZoo and what they're doing, you know? Like, I actually approve of MetaZoo's NFT and what they're doing. It's been gaining value in this market because it actually has utility in the real world. Something to think about. Just the other side of the coin, you know? Yeah. All right, guys. This is Ed with Dual Brain MTG, hanging here with Kevin. Take care. This is just another conversation. Peace.